caregiving series sponsored by Commonwealth Assisted Living. This series is made up of 5 short videos to help families communicate and understand their loved ones who have dementia. My name is Stephanie Smith. I'm here with Jeff Gruber, who is the Director of Memory Care at Commonwealth Assisted Living. Today we will be discussing utilizing life experiences to help navigate dementia. Welcome, Jeff.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Jeff, my grandmother was diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's in particular, and I remember in some of the later stages it was very hard to communicate with her. Can you give families at home that may be experiencing the same situation some tips on how to communicate?
As loved ones in their home setting unfortunately age and have a diagnosis of a form of dementia, it's very important for those family members to actually embrace their history and be aware of your loved one's background and focus on what they did as far as special events, their careers, their hobbies, and their previous interests, because what happens commonly with dementia is that a lot of loved ones will live in the past.
Okay. And what we've seen and what I've experienced is that they are living in the past, so their perception of reality might become skewed. It could be something as insignificant as forgetting maybe what they had for breakfast this morning, or something much more meaningful, such as forgetting their spouse passed away. How should families react and deal with these situations?
Stephanie, with loved ones that have a diagnosis of some form of dementia, it is very important to know the difference between reality orientation and validation. Our knee-jerk response is to actually correct someone by giving them the current time, date, and place. Unfortunately, when someone has a diagnosis of dementia, as I mentioned earlier, they do live in the past. Their long-term memory is intact. So by trying to validate the current time and place only makes them more agitated, because they will insist at a certain period of time because their current memory is what they remember. So it's important to actually introduce the technique of validation, which is basically agreeing with where they are at that given time and just enjoying the presence that they are in and participating in that conversation with them.
How would that work with activities of daily living, such as bathing or dressing?
Once again, knowing your loved one's background and knowing what they looked forward to or what they participated in on a routine basis becomes very important. So if you are coaching a loved one to try and get them ready for an event or to actually have some activity of daily living such as dressing, grooming, or bathing, knowing their history and knowing what was important to them actually can aid you in getting them to cooperate with you. For example, if they were avid churchgoers, when you mention to them that it's time to get ready for church, they will probably cooperate by getting in the shower with you. If you mention to them a favorite relative or a favorite cousin coming over and you want them to change their clothes by putting on a garment that was purchased by that particular family member, they are more willing to participate in that activity.
Well, thank you so much for those tips, Jeff. Today we've been talking about utilizing life experiences to navigate dementia. Our next video, we will be discussing maximizing quality interactions using a memory box. Thank you for joining us.